G'day, so I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail about a bug which has existed in Anno for, I think pretty much since it's released, which relates to escorting vessels in the game. And the reason I'm going into detail is because a lot of people misinterpret exactly what's going on here with this bug. If you post on the forums or on Reddit about it, most of the people which post replies are completely misinterpreting exactly what's causing this bug. And I did try to post an explanation a little while ago, and I didn't really explain myself clear enough. So this video is now going to go into detail of exactly what's triggering this bug. So I've got an escort mission ready here to do with Anne. I've got a ship that's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to trigger this mission start by assigning this vessel to escort the pirate ship from this location. Now, what a lot of people have interpreted in the past is happening is that when this ship stops sort of around here, simply the range between these two ships is what's causing the mission trigger not to start. As you can see, that's not a problem in this case, because this ship is sailing right up on top of the vessel that it needs to escort, and still there is no trigger to start the mission. And that's simply because that was never the problem in the first place. And if that's what the developers have been looking at to try and solve this problem, then it's no wonder that this problem's gone over a year without being fixed. The problem is not the fact that one ship is simply stopping short of the other one and it's not close enough to trigger the mission. The problem is, when I assigned the ship to escort from over here, he went onto an escorting mode, and there must be some sort of code or rule in the game that says that a ship that is already on an escorting duty cannot another escorting mission once it's in range. And to kind of cement in exactly what I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ship off its escorting mode, but keep it in range of the vessel which it needs to escort, and you'll see that the mission trigger appears immediately. So I'm going to click him off, and there it is. The mission trigger is now there because he is no longer in an escorting mode. If I assign him back to escort that ship, the mission trigger immediately disappears and he goes back to an escorting mode. If I click off, it comes back up. If I click back on, it disappears. So as you can see, whenever the ship is in an escorting mode, the mission won't trigger. As soon as he's off the escorting mode, the mission triggers.
Prove your worth at sea. Let's see if your talk's as good as...
Okay, you kind of see what I mean now? So, of course, there's workarounds for this bug, and there have been for months. It's simple. Rather than assigning the ships to escort it from the other side of the map, you just assign them to sail next to it, and then when they're close enough, the mission then triggers, and then you can get your ship and assign it to the vessel after the mission starts. It's a workaround, it's a bit of a fuck around, and it doesn't really solve the problem. So I hope this gives a little bit more detail into exactly what's causing this issue, and hopefully will allow the developers to actually look at fixing why it's occurring.